listening to The Bows Knows, a podcast about QI Roberts Junior Senior High School in Putnam County, Florida. And I'm your host, Mr. Bows, and today I have guests in studio to help me talk about debate. So thank you for joining me today. Please introduce yourselves to our listeners.
I'm Avery Jackson.
I'm Gavin Miles.
I'm Stacy Lopez.
I'm Avril Wilson.
Thanks for joining me. So before we jump in and start talking about debate, we've got our intro questions, starting off with, what is your favorite QI story or tradition?
I want to start first because there's one that I've been thinking about that I just absolutely love. I like our unofficial pajama season towards like when all the exams start, the ACE exams, and everyone just shows up in like the comfy clothes, the pajamas. It's like a whole month of pajamas just because, you know, we have exams going on. I love it. I love wearing the pajamas.
I like how our first Spirit Week, we always have like a costume day, I think. I always like that because I like seeing like the costumes that people come up with.
I know it's not specific to QI, but I really like the Powder Puff games and seeing the guys dress up as cheerleaders.
I like Senior Prank Day, mostly because my sister was a part of it last year, and she silly string Officer Brady's hair and chased her around the whole school. So
that was fun. So the next question I have for the four of you is, if you could time travel, when would you go and why?
I have kind of a tricky answer, right? So last time I said to the future, but now I'm thinking I'd go back to 1990, like maybe 5, 8, whenever. I'd invest in Apple and Google, and then I'd be a billionaire, and then I'd have the capital leverage to like make a difference in the world for the better.
I go back to the Victorian era. I just think it's like really cool architecture and the fashion and whatnot.
I don't know where I would go. I feel like the future, but I don't know why.
I'd probably go to like maybe when I'm in graduate school and see if I'm at like a really nice one like Harvard or something.
See if you made it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. Last, before we get to start talking about debate, is of course quality, integrity, respect. Which one and why?
Oh, okay. Last time I said integrity, and I think that's a strong answer, but I think respect is underrated, right? Because when you give people respect, they give you respect. And honestly, in today's world, with the job market and everything, I think networking is so important. So respect is like the first factor there. So I'll go with respect.
I feel like I would also go with respect. It's like just there, but like everyone knows to do it. But it's not like talked about as much because like everyone knows that it's like a basic thing to do. But I also like respect.
I think I'd go with integrity. I think I maybe did that one last time, but I feel like it's just a really important thing. And then it also, I feel like, shows like a sort of self-respect, being able to like, you know, do what you're supposed to do, just like from like based on your morals and stuff.
I think I'd also go with respect. I just feel like it's very important and something that's really needed in today's society.
All very good answers. So let's jump in and start talking about debate. And very first question is, tell us about what it is. What is debate? What do you do?
Well, it's my first year in debate, but I'm super excited, and I've been going to all of our events and everything. And so far I see that our debate, it's mostly going to all of these different competitions, and these competitions have all sorts of different forums. You get to pick what kind of debate that you want to do. It's about developing your speaking skills and your self-confidence and, your critical thinking skills, like your ability to debate. And I think that's, what makes our debate club so important.
Yeah. And it's like, there's definitely topics that you could talk about, and you could also make up some for the specific debate that you're doing. Like Gavin does
Congress. Usually I do Congress.
Which you could make like bills to do, and he just found that out, and I think he's going to do that next time.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. So describe. So let's see. So debate it's a competition-based organization or club.
Yeah, but you're competing with other people. I don't know. Sometimes you could say it's like a team thing, but also I think compared to like sports, it's a little bit less of a team thing. But it's also yourself, right? It's like making yourself a better speaker and a better person and whatnot. So it's not only just about competition, but yeah, competition is a part of it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like competition in a way because like the people that you're competing with, it's like they're very nice and they're respectable to you, and that's what I like.
Oh yeah, it's you have to emphasize that it's super friendly competition. A part of debate is that everyone is so respectful. At the end, you're all shaking each other's hands. You know, you're all excited about it. There's no foul play or anything that goes on. It's friendly competition.
Yeah, and I feel like it's important to note that while you are competing against other people, you're not just like evaluated in comparison to them. Like you're largely evaluated based on your experience and yourself and not just how other people did. So there's not as much of like a malice feeling towards each other.
Yeah. With it being my first year, I would like competitions kind of scare me. It's kind of always been that way. But I feel like as I've gone to like more and more debate competitions, it's kind of mellowed me out. And like, cause it's not people don't want to hurt you. People don't want to like go after you. We're all just there to have fun and debate.
Gotcha. So it seems almost like it's more akin to like a music, like solo and ensemble, where you're just being evaluated from a rubric.
In a way.
I would say it depends on the forum, because like at our last debate event that we went to, just recently, just this last Saturday, there was one that was like informational speech, and on that you would only be evaluated like by yourself, because there's no like really a debate. It's more of a speech thing. But for something like Congress, which is the one I normally do, I mean, it is kind of you being evaluated in comparison to others, because you are actually debating about the thing. So it depends on the forum.
Okay, so you said something there. Let's unpack that a little bit. So what are the different aspects of competition? Well, it seems like there's different events that you can be a part of.
Well, like there's a lot of different debate organizations that you have to consider. We do FCDI,
and
we do, and Incubate are the main two, and each of those will have their own like different forums. Some of them focus more on just like Incubate, I would say, is more of just debate. Whereas FCDI and some of those other ones are debate and speech. So they might have stuff like the FCDI one has informational speech. They have one for middle schoolers that's just talk.
Just talk.
You
just like give a speech about something you like.
Yeah, there's some other ones like that. So I don't know. It depends. Sometimes they're more speech. Sometimes they're more debate. There's a lot of different forums from the different organizations, and they're all different.
And our team does, like, each of us, I think me and you both do impromptu, but other than that, we, like, do different ones. So we have, like, a wide range of people going into different competitions.
Okay. So if you didn't want to do, like, if debating wasn't your thing, but you wanted to do public speaking, there's an event for...
I think if you were really interested in public speaking, but, like, not so much, like, you're kind of scared of just one-on-one debating somebody, like it's not always like that. You can still join debate club, and we still have forums where you're gonna grow and show your best self.
Like there's informative speaking, where you just inform your judges on a topic you feel is something that's worth informing them about. There's also persuasive speaking, and there's extemporaneous.
Very good. So we've talked kind of a little bit about what debate is and the competition aspect of it. So why did the four of you choose to join the debate team?
Well, I joined last year, and Miss Knowles just like asked me, and I was just trying it out, and I really liked how it was like put together and like the feeling of it, and how like everyone's so nice to you in the debate. So I just really liked it, and I kind of just joined in a way.
And another factor, and it's shallow to have this as your first consideration, but it is a consideration, is that if you're like me and you think you're going to go into like law school or one of those fields, it's super important, not just from a resume perspective. It is important from like a resume perspective, but it's also important from a skills perspective. Like the skills that you're building are going to be important in those fields, which is why it's important on a resume, because those skills, they transfer over. So there's also the preparation for like later in life stuff. Like for me, since I kind of plan on going to law school and, those different fields, if you're interested in anything like that, I mean, that's a factor.
Yeah, I want to go to law school, and I'm not going to lie, the first, like, thought that popped into my mind when I heard we had debate was like, that looks good on applications and stuff, and it gives me experience. But also just going is really fun. Like, once you really get into it, it's not all about that. It's a lot about just the community building also.
Yeah, I joined with my friends for 2 reasons. 3. One, I'm joining with my friends, and I get to go with them to like competitions or whatnot, so that's really fun. Another reason would be, that I wanted to widen like kind of my perspective on everything, kind of like go more into that, because I only dig into like certain topics, sort of. So I wanted to like kind of open my perspective on debate, and I really like it. And then the third reason would be I always felt that I was pretty good at public speaking, and I really liked it. So I also wanted to broaden that.
Very good. So you talked about why you all joined. So what is your sales pitch for why other students maybe should join debate in the future?
Well, I think one of the points that we really drove home at that last point that we were talking about how it builds the skills that you want for later if you want to go to law school and all the different things about resumes. It's not a shallow thing necessarily to want to join and participate in debate because it'll look good on your resume, because it looks good on your resume for a reason. If you join debate and you participate in debate, it's building those skills that you need. So, I mean, it can be important if you want to go to any kind of liberal art, really. But especially if you want to go into law school, I think it really builds skills that you need in almost any profession, to be honest. But
yeah, and in Incubate, which is one of the organizations that we do, they don't allow you to be on your phone, so it makes you socialize with other people in a way. So like you make friends, and then when you go to another Incubate debate thing, then you like see those friends, and you just like have friends in Incubate. And also it like happens in FCDI, but FCDI is like more of a bigger organization, so like it's harder to make friends, but you still make friends in the long.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a big part of it, socialization, and I don't think it's good to leave that out because that's so important. I love whenever we're doing these events, talking with the people from other schools. You know, it's all, everyone at debate is friendly. You know, you're all talking, you're having fun, you're shaking people's hands. You know, the communication that we have with other schools, I love talking with them, and the actual debating that goes on too. Like hearing other people's perspectives on an issue, it's like, wow, I didn't think of that. Yeah. Like you could stare at a prompt for an hour, for hours, and thinking about this for days, and then you go to the actual tournament, and then somebody brings a whole new perspective that you never even thought of. The socializing and just hearing other people's voices, it's a big part of debate, and don't leave that out.
Yeah, going into it, I expected, I mean, I didn't expect people to be mean, but I expected them to be so involved that they would be like, don't talk to me, like, just give me dirty looks. But everybody was so sweet, and, like, people would help you. Like, I would ask them, like, hey, I have a problem with, like, pacing back and forth. Like, how do you suggest I stop that? And they would, like, help me so that I could do better, which was not at all what I expected. But they were all so sweet and helpful.
And, like, debate isn't something, like, to be afraid of. And they have events to, like, kind of ease you into it, like, Just Talk. You can literally sing a song, and you get points for it. They just want to, like, ease you in and let you have a fun time in debate.
There's also, like, showing a performance. What was that one?
Sorry, the which one? Oh,
where you, like, given a performance of something?
Dramatic interpretation.
Yeah, so if you're more of a theater person, going into anything like that, or you just think those are fun, I mean, yeah. I think there's so many, like, people think, oh, you have to, like, want to be a lawyer to join debate or something. But there's so many other, communities that debate caters to.
Yeah.
Very good. I will say just the confidence to speak in public about anything is useful for anybody. From, as you've heard, lawyers, but even, I mean, think about what a teacher does every day. They stand up and talk in front of 30 people every day. Well, 30 people at one time. 120 some people every day. So I want to shift focus and do a little bit of a news segment, because debate just had a competition this past weekend, and we had a really good showing there from what I hear. So tell us about it.
Okay, well, as we said at that last competition, so that was an FCDI competition, it was at Gainesville High School. So thank you to Gainesville High School and for all the people that organized that. It was great. But we all did, like, different things. I believe I did Congress. We had some other people do Congress. Some other people did impromptu. Some people did informative speech, and I got first place in the in the Congress section, but that's just within Congress. That's just within Congress. And
Oh,
Yeah.
but she won first place in an impromptu. It was also her first time, which I'm proud. And she felt like she did horrible, which was not right. It was not. She did amazing, and I wish I could have seen her done it, but I had to go to mine, so I really couldn't see her do it, but I really wish I did.
Impromptu, I didn't know. I've never done it before, and when you do impromptu, you're the only one in the room, so the other people can't hear your prompts. You get your quotes, so I couldn't really compare myself to other people, so I just was going based off of do I think I did good? So I didn't expect to get anything, but yeah, I got first in my division, which I'm really happy about.
And to explain how Congress works a little bit in case anyone's interested. So Congress, I was totally blindsided by the first time, but this is my second time doing Congress. And they have a bunch of bills. They're pretty simple. They're like one-page bills. And they send them out to the coaches and everyone beforehand. And you can kind of prepare some materials. And you will go and you will each debate on the bills. You're kind of emulating the Senate in Congress. You will debate on the bills. You each give a speech on the bill, and then you get questioned on your speech, and then at the end you vote affirmative or negatory on each of the bills. So the judges are there, and they're just watching your decorum. How you treat other people is super important at these debate events, and your confidence, how educated you are on this subject, how well you speak, all that stuff. So if you're more interested in kind of obviously Congress, but anything in politics or, all that stuff, I think that's a great forum.
Very good. All right. Anything else the four of you want to share about debate before we wrap up our podcast today?
I also wanted to say that even me and Gavin said that we placed, but also there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of kids there. It's not just 2 schools. It's a lot. And I know that just for impromptu, there were 30 of us. So Stacy, I know she did amazing. I can just tell because she's amazing. So I also just want to, and you, I just want to say that the effort is there and stuff. Just because they didn't say hey, I got first. There's a lot of kids there, and it is still very impressive just being able to go up and speak or do impromptu where you have no idea what you're doing. You just go up and you have to create something. It's still very impressive.
I know. At all of these debate events, I'm super proud of all of the people in our debate club who go and just participate, because there's no one on our debate club who goes and is just there just to be there. No one on our debate team is just in our debate team just to be on the debate team. I feel like most of the people that are in our debate team that are going to these events, they're really trying. They're putting in the full effort, and it's great to see.
And
that.
they succeed. They're
good
at it.
And they succeed
We have a
too.
good debate team, even though we're small.
At the Incubate event before this too, we also had 2 people place in the top 8. They do top 8 at that Incubate event. Yeah. So our debate club we only have a few members, but they're successful. Everyone in our debate club is putting in their best efforts.
Yeah, I just want to add, they placed top 8 out of 100. So.
Very good. Very proud of all of you, and I'm sure great things to come the rest of the season. Is debate something people could come and watch, or should they just keep an eye on our social channels for the outcomes?
They can come and watch if they want to join, or if they want to see the different type of topics that they do. You can come and join and see how they do it for both organizations, Incubate and FCDI. I've also went to see some when I'm not able to actually research and do the topics that I want to do. So I just go and watch how our team.
One thing I will say though, for parents or other people, they don't. It depends on the forum, and I think you should call ahead or look up ahead to see what their policy is. Some don't want parents in the room with the people debating because they could be a distraction or going in and out or something. Whereas other forums allow stuff like that. So I think it can depend. But yeah.
Very good. So at the very least, listeners, keep an eye out on QI Roberts, all their social channels, and give the support and shout outs when our debate team goes to competition. Before I let the four of you go, do you have any media recommendations for our listeners? Books, podcasts, TV shows, YouTube channels, etc.?
Ooh. Okay. Can I just share one a YouTube channel that I use? It's kind of underrated, and a lot of people might know of it, but they don't actually use it like they could. Crash Course. They have, like, it feels like every single AP subject there is, they have made a Crash Course series that goes through all of it. I use that to learn, like, so many different things. So if you're taking AP classes or any of those classes, that is the curriculum in those. And even if you're not, it's just, they're super educational. I love watching Crash Course.
I'm watching The Chosen right now, so go watch The Chosen. It's a very good series.
And the Bows Nose. I recommend the Bows Nose.
Anybody else have anything they want to recommend?
Not really.
Alrighty. That wraps up another episode of The Bows Nose. Thank you for taking the time and sit down with me, talk about debate. And listeners, if you like the podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast player of choice so you don't miss out on future episodes. And please share with your friends. Until next time, excellence in all endeavors.